but feels productive. Tend to do it at home. Innocent people infiltrate a prison. Okay, so the very first thing that I focus on when trying to enjoy cleaning is getting and maintaining motivation to do it. And I know that discipline is also a factor when it comes to getting things done, but this video is specifically about how to enjoy it. Although that is important, that is not the focus of today. This is my Kiki. This is my main hoe. So I'm not going to be focusing on the discipline aspect of it, but if you want to be like that, you can, but that's just not me. So one thing that I do is I have a specific outfit formula for cleaning. Try to find something that is comfortable but feels productive. So what I usually do is I will put on a form of a workout set so I feel put together, and I also know that wearing shoes specifically increases productivity, but I don't really love to wear shoes in the house. So what I usually do is I'll put on some slippers so that way I feel the productivity benefits of having shoes on my feet, but I'm not wearing gross shoes around the house. I also, specifically for myself, I find I'm more productive when my hair is up. So let's start by getting today's outfit put together. Usually I will just wear some bike shorts because they're comfy. So now that I'm dressed, I will also spray on a little bit of perfume. And when I worked 9 to 5, I would wear perfume every day, so I wear the same scent when I'm working from home. It's just another one of those psychology things that makes you feel like you're in work mode. I currently use a Coach perfume, and I do not know the scent. I think it's a floral one. I will try to link it down below. And one of my favorite cleaning tips that I use anytime I'm having trouble getting motivated is the Pomodoro method. I've seen different ones. I don't know if there's a traditional timing. There's a 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off, and then a 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off version. And usually I prefer to do the 50 and 10, but if I'm really having trouble getting motivated, I'll do the 25 and 5 because it's just a much more attainable chunk of cleaning time. And I also always write a to-do list. So that way when the Pomodoro timer is going, I can look at my to-do list, and if I only have 10 minutes until the next break, I can pick a chore that will only take about 10 minutes, and I can kind of prioritize as I go through the list. So this is my to-do list for today, and I usually do the Pomodoro timer on a YouTube video. There are a lot of different creators that will do a study with me version, and then also they have a good ambiance to them, or just like good vibe to them, and they also have really good music. I also love to either put on a good podcast or a good playlist while I clean. It just makes it more of an enjoyable experience, and I will specifically save my favorite podcast episodes for cleaning days. So it's just another thing that makes me look forward to them every week, and I will only listen to it while I'm cleaning. I also have been watching the show Landman, which is set in Texas, which is where I'm from, and I found a playlist on Spotify that's all the songs that they use, so I've been listening to that recently. But I also really like to actually have my physical headphones in. Somehow it just makes me feel more productive. It's probably placebo, but it's about the psychology. And the other area that I like to use to try to make cleaning more enjoyable is the environment, especially when you're cleaning. You're obviously usually in a messy environment, and so it's not as motivating. And one thing I like to do personally is to light a candle while I'm cleaning. I know that a lot of people like to wait until the very end as like a final little treat to get the house smelling nice, but I actually like to have it burning while I'm cleaning. That way when I'm done cleaning, I can blow it out and then I don't have to worry about it again. And I also feel like having the nice smell kind of makes up for the fact that the visual aspect of it isn't as nice. It makes it feel cleaner while you're cleaning because you're smelling a nice smell instead of smelling the garbage disposal or the trash or when you're cleaning out the litter box. And I also try to make cleaning as aesthetic as I can because for me, my environment really determines my mood. I'm really impacted by it. So when I lived on my own, I actually got all bamboo matching broom, mop, duster, and then even some of the scrubbies. And I try to make the cleaning materials as cute as possible. That's definitely not something you need to do if that's not something that impacts you. And since I'm now living with my parents, all of my stuff is in storage, so I just use what they have. But I also try to reduce as many barriers to entry to cleaning as possible. So one thing I specifically don't like doing is the dishes because I feel like I always burn my hands in the hot water. My hands get really dry, and I also just like don't like touching the gross food. So I got some dishwashing gloves that I always use. And anything else, if you find yourself really struggling to get yourself to do a specific chore, try to think of why you hate it that much and see if there's anything that you can either get or change to make. So right now I'm going to clean out their little fountain. Yesterday I had this charging. It lasts definitely over a week, and so I clean this once a week. Now I'm going to wash it and get their water fountain going. During the cleaning days, they just have a regular bowl, but I feel like they drink more water out of this. So while that dries, I'm gonna go upstairs and downstairs and do their litter boxes, and then I'll put it together. So the last area that I like to focus on in relation to making cleaning enjoyable is your mindset around it. So when I'm cleaning, I like to almost imagine that almost like an act of love, like an act of service to my house. And I feel like it shows gratitude for the things that you already have, and just that you're stewarding your resources really well. So if you watched my last video, I had come from my own apartment, which I absolutely loved and I put a lot of time and care into. So when I moved here, it felt almost like a step backwards from where I wanted to be in life. And so it was really easy for me to feel discouraged and less motivated to care for my environment. But one thing I've thought back to, which has really helped me, is everything is really a matter of perspective, as cliche as that sounds. Theoretically, this may have felt like a step backwards to me, and if you were like a millionaire living in your own house, this would definitely feel like a step backwards. But if you were someone who was living on the streets and you moved into a nice cozy room with your family that has food, heating, your own shower, that would be a major step forward and a huge blessing in your life. And thinking about it, all of the resources in the world are God's, and we technically in one way have access to it all. And thinking that way really just made me feel really blessed to have parents that love me, that allow me to move in with them. Some people don't have that, and so even though it feels like a sad shift or a step backwards from just where I was, really I am so blessed. And a long time ago I watched this show called 60 Days In, and it's where innocent people infiltrate a prison, and this one contestant who was really timid, really soft-spoken, really by the book, and everyone naturally thought that she wasn't going to do very well compared to the other contestants, but she actually did the best because she made friends with the other inmates, and she would make her bed every morning. She would take care of her little cell, and she had a routine for herself, and it inspired the other inmates to do the same. And so sometimes I think about that. No matter where you are, you can still take care of what you have to the best of your ability and tend to your little home. And again, back on the feeling blessed note, my parents don't require me to pay any rent. So one thing that I do for them instead is I will iron my dad's work clothes. So that's what I'm about to do right now. I'm gonna iron his work clothes, and then I'm going to water my plants and vacuum and dust, and then that will be everything on my list for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was inspirational, and if you are not currently thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was inspiring and that I gave some ideas of how to make cleaning a little bit more fun and a little bit more motivated to do it. And leave me a comment letting me know what your least favorite chore is and why. I'm really curious if I'm weird hating the dishes or if that's the consensus for everyone. And I would absolutely love if you subscribed, hit the notification bell. Bye!